Mr. Orenthal James Simpson.
Oh, Jesus.
He's murdered a bird.
Yeah, he has actually killed something out on the playing field. Joe Torre took a shit on Steinbrenner's desk.
Okay.
When he was still playing for the Cardinals.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy Halloween, boys!
Happy Halloween.
Nothing's scarier than these three morons getting together.
Just
I want-
getting after it.
I want the gentleman.
Gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. It didn't feel right. Okay.
Episode 14, our Halloween episode. Is this our first?
It's our first spooky episode.
Oh my gosh,
Getting
guys.
real spooky, boys.
Welcome, guys. We are back at it again. Happy Friday. We got our drinks. Hopefully, we have your weekend plans. Guys, I think we're in maybe the best period of sports of the whole year. NHL dropped their pucks. I think all 32 teams played in one night. NBA just tipped off. We have the World Series set, and we are in the middle of college football, NFL football. We got a sports docket. We got a big potato. We got our picks.
A baked potato.
We got a lot going on in our spooky episode. But first, boys, what are we drinking?
Oh, me?
Got there.
Okay, I was just waiting. Okay.
You look so excited.
I am excited because I know once again, I'm going to have to eat crow for making fun of you for your
Oh,
lack of
no.
diversity. Because I went back to one of my old staples, one of my old favorites, Bullet Bourbon Frontier Whiskey.
Oh man.
Oh, glory.
I almost
Yeah.
went with Bullet today.
Yeah.
I wound
but
up
bet you
going
went
with Maker's Mark.
Shanahan's.
Oh, with Maker's Mark.
Oh,
Been drinking Maker's Mark all
Mark.
week when I was out hunting, and it was calling to me. Oh, I forgot. Joey's got to tell us about a beer.
Please tell us.
The beer chaser today. The beer chaser today is by a brewery in Denver called Crooked Stave, local.
Oh, I know that place.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. Went down in the Source. That place was awesome back in the day. But they only did sours, and then now I guess they are doing other beers, and now it's called the New West Coast Style IPA, Crooked Stave, 6%. It's good. It's delightful. It has this juicy,
Ooh, like
hoppy,
juice point?
crispy deliciousness.
Ooh,
Wow. Special music. Hashtag drink local for Joe.
That's right.
it's so juicy and delicious.
I thought, well, since it's our Halloween episode, I broke out some apple brandy that I had.
Why do
laying
you
around
have
in the
that?
house.
That's a shocker to find out that that's a thing that you own.
Yeah, I used to work at a wine shop, and they closed up shop and gave me a lot of free booze. And
Oh,
apple
nice.
brandy was one of them. So I've had it in the back for a while to break it out every October, November to sip on a little bit. So
Man, you
I
have
dig
some
it.
restraint, my friend. That was a long time ago that you quit working there.
yeah, but
Yeah, I was
well,
gonna say
apple
I remember that. That's
was
been a
ago.
while.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
break it out for the seasonal stuff. It actually has a little bit of a bite to it. It's not just all apple like some of those boozes are. There's actually a little bit of a bite to it. So thoroughly enjoy it. But should we jump into the sports docket, boys? Got
Let's
a lot to
talk
go
about it.
over.
Yeah,
so many
let's get
sports.
going.
Sure.
All right, guys. Michigan missteps
Not.
find itself in a giant cheating scandal.
I love it.
I love it.
This is huge. Here's the facts that we do know. We got a coach, 28-year-old former military man, Connor Stallions. What a hell of a name.
Hell,
He bought tickets to 4 different campus games, and all these were for CFP contenders last year, which is illegal, if I read that right. You cannot buy games to scout before you play a team. He also had a record number of purchases of SEC title game tickets in 2021 and 2022. 12 of the 13 Big Ten schools have records of Stallions buying tickets to their games, which, like we said, is illegal to buy tickets to scout your team. This feels like, to me, Harbaugh is going to the NFL, whether he wants to or not next year because of this. I think this all came from some security footage that was leaked of him on the sidelines. It's a big investigation right now. NCAA's getting involved. Big Ten's getting involved. Bye-bye,
well, it
Harbaugh.
sounds like it's crazy amount of cheating going. But I don't understand about going to watch other games. I mean, in high school, we have scouts from other teams at our games all the time, and we went and watched other teams play all the time. I mean, that was just something that we did going scouting and then going to a brewery after. It was excellent.
Like the best coaches do.
Like Crooked Stave.
Yeah.
Just a scouting camp.
I think this is going to be really bad because they released this photo of all of Ohio State's hand signs on a clipboard, and it was a still photo of Michigan Ohio State game of last year. So now that everybody's going to be saying, "Oh my gosh, this is just why Michigan has been on a 3-year tear. This is why they beat Ohio State back-to-back years after losing to them for what seemed like a decade, maybe longer,
Yeah, it was a long time
in a row." And it just seems like all of these guys, they just all think that they are bigger and better and untouchable. Belichick is the same way. And it's just like, but you're going to get caught. It's going to happen. And then college, you can just leave and go somewhere else, like pull a John Calipari, like he's done to every single team that he's ever done. Pete Carroll did the same thing went to the NFL. That's exactly what you're right. That's exactly what Harbaugh's going to do. He's going to go to the coach of the Bears.
Whether he wants to or not, he is getting out of there.
Yeah, no more negotiation for him. Just whoever's willing to throw out a contract. A couple of things that I did want to point out in this is when I was kind of briefly looking into this, I did see that there was a public Venmo record of someone in the upper echelon in the football program at Michigan sending him money, and the tagline was GA, Georgia, a week before the Georgia game that he attended.
Oh, boy. And, of course, we should say this coach has said he has done no wrong. He is a veteran. He claims he's buying large amounts of tickets for vets to go to these games. Is his side of the story, if we're going to be the best journalist that we can be. It doesn't look good, though.
That's a tough sell.
That's a tough sell.
Tough sell. I did did anybody see Kirby Smart's response? When he was asked about, what's all of this about Michigan having potentially stolen signs, all of that, Kirby Smart's response was, "Yeah, I saw that game last year. I don't know that there was anything in that game that would indicate that they had stolen our signs."
Oh, man. Matt Rule actually came out, the Nebraska coach, saying he's been in the NFL, he's seen high school. Both are using technology, and college football is stuck in the Stone Age, still using posters and signs and symbols to call their plays, and he's wondering why we're not in the 21st century using technology to prevent stuff like this.
I don't trust the technology, Cody. All right, it's like we down here in 1A football in Colorado still use hand signs, and we always mix them up and then code words and things. This is I think it's more fun. It makes everybody more engaged. I love it. I think that just get it into a headset is almost kind of like cheating. I don't know. I don't like it. I think that's I'm just so old school where it's just, dude, communicate. You're part of a team. Don't just get it buzzed into your head. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Get off my lawn there, Joe. But that is a story we're going to continue to follow. More stuff's just coming out.
Love
the investigation's happening. I don't see Hardbaugh sticking around. And of course, he's going to claim he didn't know anything about it, but there's no way he didn't know something about it.
He definitely knew something about it.
Yeah, but we're going to be jumping around in the docket. Who lost the most hoopla this last week? The Lions got their ass kicked by the Ravens, or the 49ers, who Brock Purdy,
back-to-back.
Mr. MVP, we gave him credit last week, couldn't get them the dub. They've lost 2 in a row.
I know, dude. The most
hoopla. Who do you got?
Man, I think 49ers are the most vulnerable here. I feel like it's not uncommon to see a quarterback come in and have one good season or a good solid stretch of games. Brock Purdy put up crazy numbers with the amount of wins that he had and all of that. But, it seems like he's kind of crashing back down to earth a little bit. Defenses are starting to figure out how to fluster him, how to force him to be the decision maker rather than just running the scheme. I'll be interested to see what he does. I'll be interested to see what Shanahan does to respond.
He may not even play this week. He's in concussion protocol. So there's a chance he doesn't play, and Sam Darnold comes out of the woodworks and plays against Joe Burrow in the Bengals.
What if
that's rough?
Sam Darnold comes out and just tears it up?
I'm
You
going to
know,
go
it's
out on a
just
limb
like-
and say that he won't.
It's a bold statement.
I was just listening. Orlovsky or somebody was saying that Sam Darnold could lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl. That's just how deep and how stacked they are. So now let's see if that actually could happen. You know,
Joey, Lions or 49ers? Who's your
for me, the biggest disappointment was the Lions. I think I really thought,
destroyed?
I know they just got destroyed. You know, and I've been talking big about Baltimore the whole season. I like Baltimore. Lamar Jackson. People said that might have been like the best game he's ever played. You know, and he was just absolutely incredible. He was one of my early preseason MVP picks with Joe Burrow. Hasn't worked, and that's led to my fantasy teams just getting their asses kicked. Joe Burrow, damn it! But I thought Detroit and Baltimore would be the game of the weekend. I thought that was going to come down to a last-minute play, last second, and they just got their asses kicked. And now a team that's supposed to
From
have
start
the
to
fight-
finish.
Yeah, the team supposed to have the fight just didn't have.
Ran out of caffeine. The 850 million.
Yeah, get some more. Hook up to an IV, Dan. Come on, laces out, Dan.
Well, luckily the Lions play the Raiders on Monday Night Football, so I think they'll
Okay, a
get-
little tune-up game.
Yeah,
Tune-up
Yeah.
game.
I
mean,
think
the
they'll get
Raiders
cleaned
just-
up.
The Raiders just got beat by a dude who got beat by Colorado School of Mines last year. But hell yeah. In School of Mines defense, they are freaking awesome. And
They
the
are
Colorado
really
School of
good.
Mines are like one of the top. I know at one point they were the first overall ranked Division II team in America. They're freaking awesome. But at the same time, he lost to Colorado School of Mines and then beat the Raiders in his last two competitive events.
insane. What's his name? Tyler
Bangent, right?
Bangent. And did you read his
Bangent.
dad is a 15-time arm wrestling champion.
Yes.
Oh my
Both
God.
arms.
Have you
Both
seen
arms.
what he looks like?
Both
That guy
arms?
looks like
Yeah.
the son of a 15-time arm wrestling
Yeah.
champion.
Full
Wait,
sleeve
Joey, what do you
knees,
know
like
about
15.
the arm? What do you know about the arm wrestling circuit? There's a both arms circuit.
Oh no,
Like,
that
there's
just means you're a
champion of-
freaking badass. If you win competitions in both arms, you're like, holy shit, this guy's got the arms of Popeye. Just yeah.
Dang. Well, if he doesn't work out, but he's a D2 quarterback in the NFL. I think it was the first time since like 1950, it was a very long time. But good for him.
Yeah.
Now he has to take on Dan Campbell and the boys. I think it's the Lions. I think they got a little too pumped up the last few weeks. I think they started hearing all the noise and all the praise they were getting, and they were put in their place from the get-go.
I think Campbell will have them back where they need to be. I think they'll wind up teeing up on the Raiders and
Yeah.
exercising those demons and be more or less kind of back to where they were here pretty promptly.
Got to be concerned about the Niners if Purdy can't go and Burrow coming off a bye. I think that might be the game of the week if I had to look. But moving on, we're jumping around. Joe, the World Series is set.
The World Series is set, and while it might be the least watched World Series in the
Ever.
history of World Series, I am extremely ecstatic. Let me
I love
tell
it.
you why.
Your note, let me say,
listener.
your note was fuck the Astros and
Yep.
Dodgers and Philly. Ha, 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 ha. And I quote.
Yes. Yes. The first time in 6 years it hasn't been the Astros or Dodgers in the World Series. And I just hate Philly. I just hate all Philly. You know, I shouldn't hate all Philly because I've been there and it was cool. Lived on the Jersey Shore. But the last fist fight I got into it as an adult was getting punched by a Phillies fan. No,
Oh, Lord.
yeah, getting punched in the face by a Phillies fan after I did spit on his hand. But it's because he
Oh,
put
well,
it in
there's
my
the
face.
story.
It's because he put it in my face after Charlie Blackmon beat us in a walk-off. And this guy was flicking my ears and he was marching behind me and dancing around with my brother, my buddy David. And we were just going, oh, and then they hit the walk-off and he tried to shake my hand and I pushed it away. Then he put it right in my face, so I spit. And then he punched me in the face. And then it just went cray from there. So
Who won the fight?
Well, we did, obviously. I mean,
Obviously,
the guy-
why even
Obviously.
ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy just got escorted out to say by every single person in that section. I don't think his feet touched the ground. So it was.
Would you ever tell us if you lost the fight?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
checking.
it's never happened. So. All right. So the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Phillies all go down extremely exciting. And one of the best things about it was that the Astros lost at home on Game 7 when they were up 3-2 in that series. And then Aroldis Garcia just decided to only hit home runs.
Hack Daddy.
Hack Daddy just started going ape. And then unfortunately for the Phillies, who I do actually like their team, Bryce Harper, but they just didn't have it. I don't know what happened on that Game 7 in Arizona. This young up and coming team.
Yeah.
They just got embarrassed. Yeah, this young up and coming team just took it to them in Game 7 in Philly. So it was a pretty remarkable series. The 6 seed Diamondbacks and the 5 seed Rangers in the World Series. And this is why I'm really excited about it as a Rockies fan. And Cody, I guess you too as a Royals fan, and every other shitty franchise in Major League Baseball. Both the Rangers and the Diamondbacks lost 100 games or more 2 seasons ago, and now they're in the World Series. So let's go Rockies, let's go Royals. Let's see you guys in the World Series in 2025. But for this, I've got my pick as the Rangers. I think their pitching, I think Max Scherzer just jumping on this bandwagon is hysterical.
At the last second.
After just, getting taken the Mets for all they're worth, and then peace.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm going to get a World Series. And then John Gray, old Rockies player who I mean, I didn't say he sucked, but he was just mediocre. He's now killing it for the Rangers. I think that they're just too talented overall. They're going to pull this off. But the way that Arizona's been fighting, I mean, I could see this maybe going to 7. So we'll see. Should be interesting.
Great to see.
Game 7 World Series there's not a lot better in
Every
sports.
pitch is so intense.
But the Rangers runs per game, they beat the Diamondbacks in ERA for starting pitchers. The Rangers have a leg up. Diamondbacks have a better ERA in the bullpen. So I think it'll come down of how the games start, because if they can just stick around, that bullpen should be able to help. But for the Phillies, their murderer's row of Schwarber, Trey Turner, and Bryce Harper went 1 for 20 in the last 2 games in Philly.
Yeah.
They
It's embarrassing.
The bad.
Castellanos hasn't hit a hit in like 4 games after hitting like 4 in a row, home runs on his 4 straight at bats.
This is the least win total, I think, in World Series history between 2 teams.
Really?
Or at least top 1 or 2 or top 3. So
Statistic.
yeah, it is a ratings nightmare.
One of the least watched. It'll definitely be one of the least watched of all time. But if you're a baseball fool like me, then you should check in, because it's actually going to be good baseball. So,
Yeah, it should be fantastic.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that you're not going for our boy Randy Johnson's team. I mean,
Love Randy.
who are you?
I think I'm fighting for the Diamondbacks just because the small market team. They haven't won since 2001. They've only been in the World Series 1 time. They don't have a single player I can name on the team, and there's something kind of cool about that.
You remember Evan Longoria?
I do. That's the one player that I remember.
Evan Longoria, it's a crazy story. He's 15 years in between World Series appearances.
Yeah.
2008 with the Rays and 2023. That is remarkable.
As the only guy. I can't believe he's still in the league. But
yeah.
Moving on, NBA has tipped off. Nuggets wiped the floor with the talking Lakers. For some reason, they like to talk. And Nuggets weren't having any part of that.
Who's your daddy?
Big one was the rankings came out of players. Jokić was ranked number 2. Giannis was ranked number 1. Now, I'm just spitballing here, but I think Jokić had maybe the greatest playoff statistical run in the history of basketball last year.
Yes.
Also should have won a 3rd MVP.
Yes.
But Joel and Plead had to bitch his way into one. Giannis choked in the playoffs last year. I don't know why Giannis is ranked number 1.
Yes, I think that I have obviously homer bias with Jokić, and the fact that he didn't win 3 in a row MVPs still pisses me off. If anybody was going to win it over him, I'm happy it's Giannis, because he plays a game that I respect. He plays outstanding defense. He's almost unstoppable to stop if he's unstoppable to stop if he's like driving down the lane, and he's developed a shooting game, a mid-range game that's pretty incredible. I think Jokić with his triple threat option is just you can't. I don't know. There's no other word to say besides unstoppable. It's a stupid thing. I just keep on saying unstoppable. But Jokić he's proven it. They can't play defense on him because if they play him tight, then he's going to find a pick and roll. If they leave him space, then he's either going to drive or just pull up from three and shoot it. He can't be guarded. The offense can't be stopped.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't think of a better term for Jokić than unstoppable. Like, I mean, to look at that NBA championship run last season, teams are coming in going, oh, we've got the ingredients, we've got it figured out, we know what we're doing. I mean, the Lakers talked a whole bunch of shit just to go,
lay an egg.
Swept. Yeah, I mean, it's, Jokić is the man. And I think the funny thing is if this is anybody else, we'd be talking about, oh, do they feel slighted? Does this put a chip on their shoulder? Keep them hungry, go and win another one. I doubt Jokić knows. I doubt he knows that he's in second place.
Or cares.
Yeah. And I'm sure at some point in time, someone will bring that up and he'll use that as an opportunity to talk about Jamal Murray or his horses because he doesn't care. Yeah.
Yes.
He's more mad that his summer was cut short by an extended run in the playoffs.
Yeah. A little mini squeeze. I think the Denver Nuggets are the most disrespected returning champion in NBA history. What have you seen of any talk about them? What's so far? They are third right now on the NBA Finals favorites after they've lost nobody and they only got better. Yeah, losing Bruce Brown is going to hurt, but what they filled in on the other spots is amazing. Jokić is the best player that we have seen in I don't know how long. Right now, in his whatever seasons he has played, I think he's only played 8 years. He has 3 of the top 12 best statistical seasons ever, and he owns also yeah. And you know what the other 2 are? He has 12, and then the other 2 are second and first all time as the best statistical seasons of all time. His player efficiency rating. Nikola Jokić in last season, 34.88, and he lost the MVP to Plead. Nikola Jokić in 21-22, 32.8. All right. Third all time, Wilt Chamberlain in 61-62.
The ass,
all right.
man.
Okay. But then guess who's 4 and 5? Giannis. All right, so this dude dominates the same way that Jokić dominates games, just in a completely different way. I mean, Jokić is a facilitator. Giannis will just absolutely wear you down, bruise you up, and physical you, and then bore you to death with his 15-second free throws. So I get it. It pisses me off. I think it's Jokić. I get it. He's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know that they're disrespected as much as it's just a function of where sports media is. They play the most boring, the most just like easygoing game of basketball in the NBA. And so I'm sure from a media perspective, it's just tough to make that look sexy, to make that look alluring. I mean, it's no different than saying, Air Force football right now, who is undefeated. They're amazing. One of our military academies is undefeated with nothing but dudes that they could recruit who are small enough to fly a plane.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about it because you know what they do? They line it up and they run it directly at the defense's teeth 1,000 times a game and just win. But it's the most unsexy. It's the most it's mind-numbing to watch, but I love it. But it's one of those where it gets no playtime, it gets no attention, because at the end of the day, your average fan just doesn't care about the technicality of that. They're looking for the flash.
Absolutely.
I would disagree with them being the most disrespected. I just think that their brand of basketball isn't going to be well represented or focused in on in today's media environment.
Give the Nuggets respect. They're the best team in the league. They deserve their respect.
Against a 38-year-old LeBron and Anthony Davis, who's going to play 50 games this year.
If
that.
Yeah.
All right. And wrapping up the docket, boys, Wemby is taking center stage this week. Is it the field or is it Wemby for Rookie of the Year? I looked up some of his statistics on his body. What do you think his shoe size is?
Just looking up dudes' bodies.
dude.
Yeah, looking it up. What do you think his shoe size is?
I don't know, like an 8, 9.
I'd say
A kid's
I'm gonna
8.
say 21.
Wow, damn, Joe is good at this. 20 and a half is his shoe size.
Yeah, way to go, Joey.
20 and a half. He is 7'3.5". Don't forget that half.
Wow.
He has a wingspan of 8 feet. He's
Dude, he
19 and he's from Paris.
He looks like a pterodactyl. I mean, it is mind blowing when he just goes like.
It
Oh,
doesn't
like,
make sense.
it looks like he can fly if he just flaps it really, really hard. Like a humming.
that if he ran off a cliff and
Yeah.
flapped his arms.
Yeah.
Most books have him as the odds-on favorite to win. FanDuel at -160, MGM -145, DraftKings -130. So you taking the field or Wemby for Rookie of the Year? Caleb Williams is also no longer in the Heisman race, so Chris is going to win that bet while me and
Yeah.
Joey
Yeah,
kick rocks.
They just took
Eat
him
it.
out. It doesn't matter how the rest of the season goes, so you're done.
yeah, you're toast. Sorry,
You
buddy.
lost.
So Chris, are you going to do a victory lap and choose the field?
Yeah, I'm definitively going with the field. You give me a 50-50 chance of one person versus every other single person. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with every other single person.
He's good at
We got
betting.
Scoot Henderson. Chet Holmgren is back from injury, so he's technically still a rookie.
Oh.
He was the unicorn before Wemby. So, and then Brandon Miller from Alabama, who may or may not have done some.
Participated in a murder.
And then Cam Whitmore. So, Chris is taking the field. Joey, are you going?
I'm
Wemby?
taking the field.
I'm going with the field too, and I think I'm just gonna take Scoot Henderson. I think with Dame gone, I think this kid's gonna shine, and I like how he went and he just forewent. Did not
Forgoed.
go. He did not go to
Forgoed.
college, and he played in the G League, and he dominated, man. And I think that him and those Thompson twins, the Amon and Azure, they also played in like the G League Ignite or whatever. I think they're going to come in and they're going to play well because they were playing against other like professional athletes and guys who are just I think that G League produces some good players. So I think Scoot Henderson is going to shine in Portland because there's nobody else.
Guys, I'm taking Wemby. How is no one taking Wemby? He is the most insane thing we have ever seen
I think
in
he's
the
gonna
NBA
break.
history.
I just don't think that he has the
break
size
game three.
yet. Yeah, I just don't think that he has the size yet to have the longevity across the full season. Is he the best rookie that's playing right now? Heads and shoulders, definitively, yes. It's just those tall, lanky guys come in and they get beat to hell at this next level, and they wind up kind of nursing some injuries and not working at full capacity for a decent chunk of the season. And so he just, I think that he'll wind up developing into that generational talent, but I think he needs some time to actually develop an NBA caliber body and build.
He put on, I think, 30 pounds. He didn't play in the FIBA World Cup. So
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. He should have.
I think he was getting ready for
I
I think he's focused on the Olympics, and then but
Sure,
I'm
but I
taking
think
him.
he needs all the high level competition he can get before he comes in and gets just pounded in the NBA because he looks so fragile that it's like he is going to break if he just plants and goes. I know he's got skills, but Scoot Henderson looks like a human badger. I mean, he's just like just low to the ground and like feisty and just straight muscle, and he plays nasty defense. I don't know if I guess he literally is the unicorn, and they said Chet Holmgren was the unicorn. I call Otani the unicorn. So that unicorn gets thrown around a lot.
That'll do it for the sports docket, boys. Music break. Music break. And we're back. No squeeze of the week. We're keeping the, what'd you say, Chris? We're preserving the aura of the greatness of the squeeze. So us three morons didn't have anything. But please send in your squeezes, boys, all listeners through DM or email. Joey, how can they do that?
Listener, boys, all listener, girls too. Cody.
What?
All right.
Yeah, but he said listener, boys, and listeners.
You got me.
All right, listeners. You can now submit your most outlandish sports takes by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram. Hey, have we gotten any DMs?
No.
I think
Okay,
just
okay, no, we haven't got
I think
it yet.
still just
All right.
rhymes with Ike telling us to
Yeah.
blow him.
Okay, so somebody be our first DMer, please.
Thanks, rhymes with Ike.
Yeah. DM us on Instagram at juiceboyshow @juiceboyshow. And it has the pulp. We'll sift it. Then we'll read it, or we'll sift it while reading it on the show.
What? We multitask here on the
let
show.
him let him just do his thing, okay? Take it away, Joey.
Chris!
Oh, hey, it's back to me. Okay.
Chris!
What's up? Hey, hi.
Chris! Chris!
Yeah.
All right, hey,
What's up? Hi.
who's sponsoring today's Today in Sports History new segment? Yeah.
Hey, look at us.
Ooh. Today's. God, this is just ugly to say. Today's today in sports history. today's historical moment.
Today
Let's
in
go with
Sports
that.
History.
Let's go with today's historical moment. Is brought to you by getting drunk while trick-or-treating.
Oh, yes.
Fellas, it's that time of year again where children all across this great nation will be donning costumes and learning to accept candy from strangers. And all the while, being supervised by you, their overworked and overtired parent. Well, good news, parent. Halloween night is the perfect time to thumb your nose at public intoxication laws by serving yourself up a thermos full of your favorite liquor to help you make it through the evening.
It's just a hot toddy.
Just a little how you doing?
Just a little hot toddy.
Yeah, and there's no judgment here, as getting drunk while trick-or-treating is quickly becoming a beloved part of Halloween nationwide. And if you aren't supervising children, we would also like to welcome you to hand out beers and canned cocktails to the parents at your door, and maybe set aside a few shooters for those folks who look truly dead inside. Getting drunk while trick-or-treating, because these damn kids shouldn't be the only ones enjoying overindulgence this Halloween.
I
love it.
agree.
I love
Here's
it.
to you. Thank you. I don't know how they're paying us, but thank you.
You know, so funny side story, the first year that my wife and I owned our home, I brought out a bunch of beer and Truly and what have you. And so I tried to hand them out to parents, and I got about a 100% response rate of, oh yeah, no, I've already got several. Thank you.
Everyone's on the same page.
Yeah. Big ups to my neighborhood for representing. Apparently, by the time people got to my house, they had already been handed a 6-pack from all of my neighbors. Love it.
All right, guys, we're trying a new segment. Instead of stat of the day, we're going Today in Sports History.
Now, is it the day we record, or is it the day the episode drops?
Oh, too many questions. We'll go the week that episode
That
is
was
released.
one single question.
Yes, and it's too
Tell
many
me
for
the
me
year.
to... Let's see. Oh, you will never guess this. 1981. It had to do with the Yankees. I'll even give you that much. Joey usually has one.
Yeah, let me see. Reggie Jackson retired and punched Billy Martin and George Steinbrenner in the face on the way out.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
That's actually as close as you'll probably ever get, actually.
Hell yeah.
Chris, do you have a guess?
Yeah.
That's super close.
Joe Torre took a shit on Steinbrenner's desk.
Okay.
When he was still playing for the Cardinals. No, he was managing at that point, I think. But yeah.
In 1981, George Steinbrenner, old Georgie, scuffles with 2 fans in a hotel elevator.
Oh,
Could you imagine getting a fight with George Steinbrenner in the elevator?
yes, I could.
And then it turns out that it was just Larry David.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Moment of history, but I just couldn't imagine getting. What do you have to say to George Steinbrenner for him to get in a scuffle with you? And
And
Anything. The
what
guy
do
was
you
a
think-
psycho.
What do you think happens to the rest of your life when he sends his lawyers after you?
oh, that's a good point.
Dude, he hired and fired Billy Martin 4 times. I mean, it was just I thought it was crazy. He was insane. He got banned from baseball, from attending baseball when he was the owner of a baseball team. He was
Of
not
the
allowed to
baseball
go
team.
to the baseball team. He was not allowed to go to the games of the team that he owns in the stadium that he owned. That's
They
crazy.
made it to the World Series that year against the Dodgers and lost.
That was
Maybe they just caught him in a bad
Fernando
mood.
Valenzuela. That was Fernando Mania, whatever they called it that year. He was incredible.
Joey
Kurt
strikes
Gibson.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so new segment. We'll bring that back when I'm style of the day.
That's a fun one.
George Steinberg gets in a scoop. But guys, I can't make this up. Our friend Ike texted me during that segment and said, "This tall fuck, oh my fucking god, this is the greatest player to ever touch the basketball." And that's because
Wemby?
Wemby is playing right now as we record.
Ooh.
Latest player to ever touch a basketball.
Wow. That is
Ike.
whoopee from Ike.
Ike is on the
Ike.
board, and I could not have timed that any better to that segment. So shout out to Rhymes with Ike, as always, great listener of the show and squeezer of bullshit. But what are we going with today for the big potato, guys? The scariest athletes of
Just
all time.
Who struck fear in their opponents' hearts, or for my side, the viewers' hearts? All right, there's some guys I was just like, I'm terrified for my team to go against.
Yes.
And in spirit of Halloween, let's get scary.
Yeah. Chris, you start us off.
Let's get spooky, boys.
Let's get real spooky.
Spookiest player I could think of, Mr. Orenthal James Simpson.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, this guy played for 10 years,
Did he?
primarily for the Buffalo Bills,
He was really good.
He was amazing.
and was inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame back in 1985 after averaging more than 1,000 rushing yards a season.
He had a 2,000-yard season.
He had 61 touchdowns. Yeah, let's see here. It was 1973, so in his fifth year he got his one and only 2,000-yard rushing season. Terrifying for opposing defenses to have to go against.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner, very spooky competitor, and not scary in any other ways.
Yeah, no, after 1985 in the Hall of Fame, he's just wasn't
He had a really
scary
clean
anymore.
OJ
Just-
Simpson, man.
You know, he did write a book
Okay.
that was met with some public pushback, we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard
And-
something happened with sports memorabilia.
Yeah, he's made some choices.
Oh,
But
and he also
mostly-
murdered two people. But we just we'll skip
no.
over that. But
We're just
yeah.
talking about spooky on the field.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, I could go with Aaron Hernandez, but he's daled. So it's just let the dead ones be. But for mine, the first one, I'm gonna go with a guy that was, I think, a legitimate lunatic playing the game of football, and he is no longer allowed to play the game of football anymore because of his lunacy. And I'm going to take Vontez Burfict.
Oh, he was
All right,
nasty.
Vontez Burfict was about a
He was a maniac.
280-pound linebacker that could run and was not afraid to throw a shoulder or an elbow into anybody coming across the middle. And he delivered the most brutal, intentional, disgusting hit on Antonio Brown that I attest to this day is why Antonio Brown is the way that he is. Vontez Burfict caused CTE single-handedly on several NFL players. It got to the point where after his last ridiculous cheap shot, because this dude was just going out there and head hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I'm going to go out there and see if I could literally rip your head off and see if I could commit legal murder like on this field. All right. And so after he got busted for, I think, his fourth suspension for dirty hits, they were finally like, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, you're done.
And he is.
We just don't want you here. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what they.
Yeah, he is forever banned from playing in the NFL. And to my knowledge, I think he's the only guy I've heard of. No, didn't Greg Hardy also get the death penalty because he's just an overall piece of trash, just a horrible human being?
Yeah, but he had some off-field issues too.
Yeah. So I think, Burfict was the only one just like, nope, It's like
He
when you
just
take
he
that
just
kid's
wasn't
helmet in
welcome.
practice.
He was not welcomed back.
Yeah.
Perfect missed a total of 22 games due to suspension, which is roughly 20% of his career was on
Oh my
suspension.
God.
Which he cost himself $4.6 million in salary,
It's a
and
psycho.
he was fined pretty much, or close to $500,000, so about $5 million in career earnings, just because he didn't want to learn how to hit right.
Nothing
Wow,
wrong.
that's a hell
No,
of a
you just
pick.
you wanted
He
to
probably
hurt
had a knife in his sock.
people. Yeah, you wanted to hurt people.
I'm going to go with the good old Dick Butkus.
Mm.
You talk about scary. You go watch highlights of him
Badass
for 5
name.
minutes, and a badass name. Back in the day when you could throw haymakers, you could throw bodies on the ground, you could late hit,
Oh yeah.
you could do the dirtiest of things.
Yeah, Vontae's Perfect would have loved it.
Oh, he would have thrived.
He would have killed people.
He probably would.
They'd be dead.
He would have still managed to find a way to get kicked out of that version of the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, lordy.
Oh, absolutely.
Haymakers, clothesline, blindsides, flips. I mean, Dick Butkus was wrestling at that point. It just scares me to watch highlights. I would never want to be on the opposing team playing that man.
No, he was one of those guys where back in the day that like looked like just your dad during like a bowling tournament. You're just like, this guy's an NFL player.
And he was a maniac.
Just looking over there. But then when he was playing, like he would grab people by the face mask and that little bar in the middle. And just like that was like a primary tackling method of his, and just like twisting until they went down. And I was like, well,
his job was to get them to the ground, and he did that.
He did it.
Pick number 2, I'm going with Ray Lewis.
Oh, that was my other one backup. Yep.
Another Hall of Famer, 12-time Pro Bowler, 7-time All-Pro, 2 Super Bowl rings. Dude had 41 and a half sacks in his, 16-year career. All of them with Baltimore. Another guy who just dominated one side of the ball from start to finish across his entire career. Won, a couple of Defensive Player of the Years. Yeah, I mean, just a phenom on defense, and another guy who never did anything spooky in his personal life.
Well, I heard about something that happened in Atlanta in the summer of 2000, but I just he won a Super Bowl, man. He was Super Bowl MVP. It's just like, give the guy a break. I mean, he was just there when somebody got killed. He was just there. It's not his fault. I mean, come on.
But like Brandon McCoy said, he found Jesus.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolution.
Good for you, Ray Lewis. Good for
Absolution. Looks great on you, Ray Lewis.
JoJo.
Another guy,
2.
scary player, but also I'd be terrified if I actually just if I bumped into Ray Lewis, hard.
You wouldn't spit on his hand?
No. Oh God, no. My next pick
Tell us
is
about
the
it.
man who invented the word sack. They had to create a name of the quarterback tackle and behind the line of scrimmage because of how dominant this dude was. When Deacon Jones was asked how he came up with the term sack, so he said, I did come up with the term sack to describe the devastation I was bringing on the poor, cringing quarterbacks in the NFL. Sack the quarterback. That was nice. I thought it was lots better than saying Jones tackles the quarterback behind the line for another loss of yardage. Had a ring to it, and it caught on with sports writers. But I tell you, doing it was a lot more fun than talking about it. He compared it to the Romans sacking Carthage, just complete and total devastation. They said that if they can count sacks, that he could have averaged, or not averaged, but he had a season where it could have been 40. Could have had 40 sacks. And you know what his method was? He did the old, unique whoop upside the head. He would take his huge ass left hand and arm and just drill you in the side of your helmet on his pass rush. And he said to make them blink, but every single time he was just giving them mild concussions. And so they would black out for a small second, and then he would dip under and get there. Played for the Rams back in the day. They said that probably the most feared player ever. And he had those kind of like sunk in eyes, where he just kind of looks like he's dead, but not dead, and just looking through your soul. and he would murder people. Deacon Jones, be terrified of him.
Deacon Jones
Invented the sack.
Great pick. Great pick.
Guys, no one's gonna say the friend of the show.
I was waiting for it, buddy.
Chase Koepka?
Randy Johnson
Randy
is the most.
Oh, that was my second
Oh my
pick.
God!
Damn it.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine stepping into the box?
No.
Even
He's
being
so
a left-handed
scary.
hitter, he's 6'10". He throws sidearm. He's
100
murdered a
miles an hour.
bird.
Yeah, he has actually
murderers.
killed something out on the playing field.
Yes,
Yeah.
no one has done that.
Know about it. Yeah.
Yes, if he hit you in the temple, you were gone. How are
Yeah.
you not scared to death? I would.
It would
Oh
be
my
like a
gosh.
cartoon. Like your brain would pop out the other side, and the baseball would just be implanted
Yes.
in the goal.
Like, out
I-
of all
I-
the people we just named, I think that would be I would. You had to pay me the most money to go up against Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I think
Like, I would-
just I step in to take batting practice against my pitchers. I coach middle school baseball, and it's
Oh, good. Let's compare. Let's compare the two.
and it's scary because I know I'm gonna get hit. I know that it's like it is going to happen because
You have a
I'm
lot of
just gonna
6'10" lefties.
yeah, I'm just gonna stand in there and take it. And know I don't have a batting helmet big enough for my head, and so I'm just like I know that's gonna hurt, but it's just like oh come on, just bring it, And so, but going against that, I don't. When do you even get your timing on when to even put your foot down? Not
There would
worth
be
it.
a trail of urine going up to the batter's box, and then a trail of urine going back from the when he did strike me out. I'd be needed to take to the hospital after if he accidentally hit me.
You're
so.
just out there making deals with God.
Yeah, just get me through this. But happy Halloween, boys. Those are the scariest.
Spooky stuff.
Lawrence Taylor was also on my list. I mean, maybe the greatest defensive player of all time.
I mean, he was only scary because he was just really freaking good. Deacon Jones was giving you concussions, and Vontaze Burfict forever was changing lives. And so it's just made people never the same forever. And I don't know,
I mean,
OJ
changed
and
a couple of lives.
just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez,
Bronco
obviously.
owners everywhere were never the same.
Especially white Broncos. You can't.
I mean, Ford had to shut down an entire car line because of it.
Nope.
That'll do it for Big Potato. Next week we have a listener submitted one that we're going to get into that we're very excited about. So tune in next week.
Okay. What? Okay.
Joey reading shit.
All right, listener. Remember, you can now continue to listen and tell other people to listen to the show on
You have permission to tell people to listen to us. Yes.
on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, and Apple. And now YouTube. Yeah, let's go YouTube. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show and leaving us a review if you listen through Apple and subscribing if you watch on YouTube. And we encourage you to follow our YouTube channel as well. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. You can follow us also on Instagram at Juice Boy Show. At Juice Boy Show.
It was salacious.
Oh, that just about does it. Let's wrap it up.
Don't.
What?
Cody, back to you.
That just about does it for us three morons on this spooky Halloween show. We're going to wrap up with some picks. Chris, who are our picks sponsored by this week?
So yeah, fellas, today's picks actually don't have a sponsor.
Oh, no.
Instead, we have a press release from a previous sponsor who wanted to take this opportunity to clear the air.
Oh, no.
So I'll read it as written. We here at Harbaugh Brand Khakis are aware of the allegations of stitching stealing coming from our governing body, Dad Fashion International. We deny any wrongdoing and plan to fully cooperate with this investigation. We have gone ahead and put the low-level seamstress who supposedly stole trade secrets from Old Navy, Dockers, and Levi's on administrative leave, pending this investigation. Furthermore, we here at Harbaugh Brand Khakis wish to maintain our quality and consistency stems from our constant hard work, despite whatever Venmos may have been exchanged between our CFO and said seamstress.
Wow.
And we look forward to a returned focus on our high quality, affordable, and comfortable pants being donned by dads everywhere in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Wow.
God bless America.
God bless America. And if there was a hiatus in my Hardball brand khakis, then I had to cancel my monthly subscription. I would be so upset.
They obviously
So
paid
upset.
for that spot, right?
They did, but they wanted a serious tone. They wanted us to know that seam stealing is very, it's taken extremely seriously in the dad fashion industry and will not and has never been tolerated in the Harbaugh family brand of clothing.
Wish they were back under better. Yeah, I wish they were back under better circumstances.
They'll be back someday. Someday.
Oh, someday. Chris,
Yeah,
wrap us
once-
up.
Yeah. Oh,
What do,
yeah.
what do we
are
got
doing?
with our? Who's making money? Who's not? Am I still in the lead? Please say so.
Oh man, fellas, can we just take a moment and just take a deep breath,
Oh, do we all suck?
fellas? We made 9 picks last week.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
You want to know how many we got right? Collectively,
Me?
one.
My one? My one? Yeah.
Fellas,
Holy
this
cow.
is a podcast by the morons
Yeah.
for the morons.
Yeah.
But by God, did we take that to its worst possible logical conclusion? Cody 0-3, me 0-3. Oh my God, what the fuck are we even doing? Joey 1-2, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, Joe from Gulf Coast. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna update season totals until we at least have enough to put in some win columns to give a shit about the season. My
Hey,
God,
I gotta get my one on you guys. So
God,
give me my
have-
one.
that's
Give me
all.
my one.
What a show about sports gambling. Really to wrap up.
Yeah,
One and-
for
That's why I call gambling the house always wins.
Joe, start us off.
yeah. Holy shit, fellas, we suck balls.
We were terrible. That might be the title of the show.
All right,
Joey, start us
boys.
off.
All right, boys. Let me see if I can undo my dastardly deeds of the past 2 weeks where I've gone collectively 1-5. All right, but I think this is all going to turn around. You know, where first of all, it's going to come out of one story that we did not bring up this week was a hilarious interaction with Brady Quinn and the Cleveland Browns, specifically Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is not playing again this week when all medical doctors who have looked at him have cleared him. He did not have a concussion. They're saying that he can play. It's just a pain tolerance factor. So Brady Quinn came out and said that Deshaun Watson is like a trust fund baby.
Yes.
You get handed $230 million. Are you going to want to work? And said, no, you're just going to sit on your ass and do nothing. And so he said that, and Deshaun Watson's personal coach came out and just ripped on Brady Quinn. So Brady Quinn is such a badass, just posted, all right, me and you got to get together, massage this situation to a happy ending until it's satisfaction. I think that is one of the best mic drop moments I've seen in recent history. Just up
Jeez.
yours, Deshaun Watson. Like, who are you are that's it. He has had one of the biggest falls from grace, and he is not bouncing back like Tiger. I didn't think Tiger would ever come back, and he did. Deshaun Watson is not even trying.
Mike Vick went to prison
Yeah, and he came
and
back
then
and he's
came
okay
back
now.
and dominated.
That's right.
Deshaun
And now-
Watson, you just took a year off
Yeah.
because you are a sexual predator.
That's right. Never convicted.
So you're
but we
not
all
taking
know.
the Browns?
So I am taking Seattle -3.5 over Cleveland. I love PJ Walker, the XFL standout, but Seattle's 4-2. They're playing really well, and I think DK will be back this week. My boys Jackson Smith and Jigba finally got a tutty, and so I think they're gonna win. Seattle -3.5 over Cleveland. My first pick. Boom.
I can't believe the Vikings are only -1 against the Packers, who the Packers were underdogs against the Broncos So it's a pick 'em for the
rightfully
Vikings
so.
Packers.
They lost.
The Vikings just had the biggest win of their season. They're really rolling here. Addison is a
He's
baller.
good, dude.
Kirk Cousins
kid's
showed up.
good.
The defense showed up. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. Jordan Love does not seem to be going in the right direction. I cannot believe it's just a pick 'em at that point. I easily get the Vikings -1. Chris.
All right. Yeah. So I've sucked of recent, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the reverse of whatever I think. I had down Jaguars at Steelers under 42. I'm gonna go ahead and switch that to the over because my picks suck. So I'm just gonna do the opposite of what I think I need to do.
The old George
And
Costanza.
if that works out for me like old Costanza.
All right, for my numero dos pico, I'm going to take a college one, and I'm going to take Ohio State -14.5 over Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I think that the Ohio State is just, they're on a mission right now. They got to do it. Their quarterback, this kid that I never heard of before, is starting to come out and sling it. I think that they need to be able to just build up some momentum and absolutely throat stomp Michigan here in a couple weeks in that last game of the season. So I'm sorry, Ike, or Mike, or whoever that Mike is, but Ike, dude, my boy, taking Ohio State -14.5 over Wisconsin.
My college game, I'm going to take the over 47.5, Oregon versus Utah. Probably the biggest game.
Oh,
in
I had that
college.
too. Yeah,
Probably the biggest game in college. Oregon they put up a lot of points. 47 feels a little bit low.
I agree.
It'll probably be closer to that 50. I don't know if it'll blow by that, but I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm excited for Saturday.
Well, now I got to get another over, you dirty dude.
Dirty dude. I've got Oklahoma -9 at Kansas, so I'm going Kansas +9.
The opposite.
Okay.
Going with the opposite. Yeah.
That's ballsy.
Oh God, I don't know, buddy.
Football basketball has started for KU. So.
I mean, I hope so. You know, I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so. All right.
No, wrap us up.
Well, now that you took my other over/under, I gotta do an over/under pick. I think that Justin Fields, is he gonna be back this week?
Nope.
No.
Never mind. Thank you,
D2.
friends. Thank you, friends. Another D2 showing. I'm not taking the over in that game because people, I don't want to take unders. I like points. I root for points. With that being said, I see a game here that should be higher than it is, but it's not because the Broncos are not good. Let's go Broncos.
Valid.
Let's go Broncos over 46. Beat the Chiefs.
Oh, I was going to take that. Gosh dang it.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on, Broncos. You
So
can do
40-7
it.
for
No,
Chiefs?
Broncos are going to win this game, dude.
Holy
Broncos
shit.
are
We
going
got
to
to
win
do this
in,
again. We
in
got to go
Denver.
through this
It's
whole
going to
thing
happen.
again.
It's going to happen. I would have taken them, but I didn't have another
We got to go through the
plus
whole
ones.
thing again. That whole, like, the Model 3 Tesla didn't exist the last time that.
The world was a better
Broncos
place. We know this, so let's revert back. Let's go. Come on.
I'm taking the under on the Jets and Giants game. Zach Wilson versus David Jones.
Daniel.
Exactly.
Mm.
Or maybe he's not even playing. Bless you.
Wasn't Davy
Thank you.
Jones? Wasn't Davy Jones a partridge boy?
Yes. 36.5, though. I don't think the Jets have a good defense. Giants defense started to figure it out. It's really just Saquon and Garrett. Got two playmakers on the team. I just don't see a ton of points going on. So I'm taking the under, my first under of the year.
Way to go, man.
Take us home.
All right. God, what do I want to do?
Not suck.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah, I have not proven myself to be capable of that of recent. You know, I'm going to go with my hometown boys. Purdue at Nebraska, I had the under 39.5. I made some money this last weekend betting the under on Nebraska. So we're going to go ahead and switch that to the over since that's what I think is going to happen. Let's go points in the old Boilermakers at Cornhuskers.
You know what's over.
Not that game.
Pardon?
Yeah. That game's not hitting the over, brother. That is that's a Big Ten battle. That's not going to happen.
Do you guys want a side bet?
I mean, Joey, how many weeks in a row did you get it wrong on over-unders on Big Ten, and now you've hit one, and you're the expert?
That's right. I won. I was the winner last week, so yeah, that puts me. And I won golf, so there we go.
Well, you know what else is over, guys? This fucking episode.
No.
I'm just over your bullshit, is what's
That's
over.
it for us. Guys, the best part of the year is upon us. So many sports.
So much.
World Series.
Should we do a pick 'em for NBA and NHL as well? I think we should do a special episode one of these weeks.
Listener, DM us because we haven't had a DM yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that
DM
too.
us.
Yeah.
DM us your NBA, NHL picks. Cause I'm going Nuggies and I'm going Avs. It's gonna both titles in Denver this year, baby.
Cannot be
Hell yeah.
Both titles.
Oh, Lordy. This whole ending is a mess. Episode 14 in the books. And that'll do it, boys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love.